Okay, it's time for the niche list. I'm finally getting around to doing it. I know I promised to do it last week, but last week I did the holiday video, shopping guide video. So this is my top 20 winter fragrances from niche houses or niche brands, unranked. So these are my 20 favorites for this winter 2018, but they're not in any specific order. So if you're curious to find out what they are, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. I'm going to jump right to it. No explanations, nothing, except for the fact that thank you for waiting for this list. We did do the designer list, then we did the Beast Mode Sillage video. Then last Saturday we did the holiday shopping guide video. So now we have 20 fragrances from niche houses, and let's go ahead and start off with this one that I recently picked up. It's from the house of PENHALIGON'S that I really loved, so I had to find it. And guess what? I found the tester of all things for about 50 bucks. So I snatched it up. It's from their higher priced fragrances, but I'm glad to have found the tester for about 50 bucks. It was actually $56. This is PENHALIGON'S LEVANTIUM. And what I really like about this one, this is an oud. I love oud, really do. This one is oud with rose, with saffron, and then you also have davana in it, which gives it like a green licoricey vibe, so a bit boozy as well. So this one was so delicious that I wanted to buy it, but I just kept putting it off, and then finally at the retailers there was a tester, like a few testers for sale, and then I'm like, okay, I'm buying it. I really love it, so I'm glad to have it, and it's perfect for winter. So this is LEVANTIUM from PENHALIGON'S. Do check it out if you like licoricey fragrances with like the oud, of course, the saffron, the rose, and all that good stuff. Another one that I'm going to talk about that I haven't spoken much about, but actually I spoke about it in the musk video that I did with Dahlia. This is Musk Extreme from Paris Monte Carlo, and I wanted to include one like musk dominant fragrance in this video that's actually beast mode, because this is beast mode. This one is intense. It's a bit animalic, but it's also very, very heavy, like a bit cloying. So if you like a musk, something that's actually a bit animalic and also on the clean side as well, because musk can go either clean musk or very animalic. This one kind of like borders the animalic touches, so it does come off a bit skanky, but you also have the clean parts about it. So it's a great scent, a great house, Paris Monte Carlo, and this is one of my favorites from this house, Musk Extreme from Paris Monte Carlo. So we're going to a vanilla, and one of my favorite houses that I've done various videos with or for on this channel, and this vanilla is from the house of Atelier des Ors, and this is LUNE FELINE, this one right here. So LUNE FELINE we recently did a review for on this channel. We also did a giveaway. Of course, it was recently featured in my top 20 vanilla fragrances video that I shot with Rachel, who unfortunately has moved away from being my neighbor, darn. But we also did a giveaway of this on Instagram recently, and we had a lucky winner. But this is a very, very delicious and musky vanilla with lots of spices, and of course you've got to love the gold flakes floating around in these bottles. They are awesome. This is truly delicious. This is the very first fragrance that I had purchased from Atelier des Ors, the house that I discovered at JOVOY Perfumery in Paris. I was visiting France the late winter or late December 2014, early January 2015, and I arrived in Paris on the day of Charlie Hebdo, and I went to JOVOY for the first time and discovered this house. They had just put out their fragrances. It had only been 2 weeks, and I bought it, and I love it. This is a great vanilla from Atelier des Ors, LUNE FELINE. Check it out. A fragrance that I really have spoken a lot about on this channel, and I brought it back from France in January of 2017, because I usually travel in winter for my regular holiday or winter travel, which I will hopefully will switch around soon, because winter kind of gets boring. But I brought this back January of 2017 because I had shot a video in the Parfums de Marly boutique in Paris. This is Carlisle, which I also recently reviewed. It's an excellent fragrance for winter. Everyone that I'm talking about here is perfect. This is actually beast mode and featured in the beast mode Sillage video as well. The previous 3 had not been featured, but oh man, this is so intense, so good. It was exclusive to Paris, and finally it got its release earlier this year everywhere, and everybody's been talking about it. This has become one of my favorites from this house, and it's definitely worth that crown because it's intense. It's classy, it's sexy, it's just beast, and it's a wonderful scent. So this is awesome. Check it out, Carlisle, if you want something really intense for winter. Next is an indie niche house from, well, I don't know where they are located now. They used to be in Texas, but I think they moved. Sorry, I don't remember where you moved to. But this is Gallagher Fragrances Rose All Day that I had recently reviewed. Man, this is so good. And in that video I did, I said it's perfect for winter, and it truly is. It's intense, it's beast mode rose, it's delicious, it's gourmand. Usually when I think of gourmand rose with something like Montal Intense Cafe, but this is completely different because this goes in a bready, nutty, doughy direction because it has these like doughy-like notes. It's got, I think, tonka beans in here as well. But the rose is pretty prominent. It's a very jammy rose, but very delicious. This is absolutely my favorite from this house because it's an excellent release and it's made it onto my top 20 for winter list. So check it out if you don't know it. Gallagher Fragrances Rose All Day. Another fragrance that I had featured on my Beast Mode Sillage video. This is Maître Parfumé Gantier Ambre Presso Precious Amber, but a Beast Mode Amber, and one of the best ambers in the world, and perfect winter scent. I love wearing amber fragrances for winter because they end up being like heavy, intense beast fragrances, and this one doesn't disappoint. A great house to discover. I was doing a full bottle giveaway of this one recently with a review, of course. Hopefully you caught the review. If you haven't, do check it out. That's Maître Parfumé at Gantier, and it's Ambre Presso. Next up, we're going to the house of Tiziana Terenzi, and I was tossing up between La Donna Nero or this one, and I went with this one because I really love this. This was the very first fragrance I bought from this house, and it was when Paolo was visiting our Barneys here in San Francisco. This is Maremma. Really delicious, almost intense fragrance, which is perfect for winter. And it's actually, people say it's similar to Black Orchid from Tom Ford, and I find the similarities, yes, but I prefer this one over Black Orchid. And they're not identical. I mean, they have similarities, but I find this one to be a lot drier, but more intense and a lot more dense, whereas the Tom Ford seems to be a little more wetter, or I don't know, something about it is not so dry compared to this one. But either way, if you like Black Orchid, check out Maremma. It's quite nice. I really love it. And as soon as I smelled it, I fell in love with it and I bought it. And there you have it. This is Maremma, a great scent from Tiziana Terenzi. Next up, we're going to the house of Acqua di Parma, and this is Oud, Colonia Oud. It used to be called Colonia Intensa Oud. They changed it to Colonia Oud. I have a review of this one on the channel. Check it out. This last one, Maremma, and this one was not featured in the Beast Mode Sillage video, but I could have almost put this one on there because it's intense. It's like a really intense fragrance. In fact, I probably would have included it if I had done a top 25. But this is probably one of my favorite oud fragrances, and from this house, Acqua di Parma, who's known for freshies. So it's I don't know what it is about it, but it's really intense and heavy, and it comes off very leathery as well, like intense leather and oud together. But the whole underlying freshness about it makes it a lot easy to wear, but still I find it very appropriate for winter. So check it out, Acqua di Parma, Colonia Oud. Next up, we're going to the house of Frederic Malle, and this is Dries Van Noten. This one right here, I've rarely spoken about this one, but this is all about sandalwood, but you have a very heavy dose of vanilla as well. And the two together kind of come off a bit medicinal, of all things, and I like that about it. So it's really intense and heavy and slightly bordering gourmand, because the vanilla in here doesn't quite come off like a full-on in-your-face gourmand vanilla, but it's kind of slightly bordering gourmand because that medicinal touch to it kind of veers it away from the like landing into gourmand territory, if that makes sense. But I really love this one, and I find it to be appropriate for winter. This is Dries Van Noten from Frederic Malle, a great release. Back to the house of Parfums de Marly. This is Layton exclusive, this one right here. Absolutely in love with this one. So if I had to rank my Parfums de Marly fragrances, I would rank Herod first, Carlisle second, and then Leighton Exclusive third, because it's that good. It's absolutely amazing. It's a fruity, fresh, slightly oudy, but there's no real oud mentioned in the notes here, according to their website, not Fragrantica, because I think on Fragrantica it does say that there's oud because it kind of smells a bit like there's oud, but it's not. But this is beast, like it's intense. It is perfect for winter. If you don't know Leighton Exclusive, do check it out. I highly recommend it. So now we have 10 more fragrances, and again, these are not ranked in any specific ranking. I just wanted to offer my 20 favorite fragrances for winter this winter. This is from the house of Frederic Malle again, and this is Portrait of a Lady, this one right here. And this one was featured in my Beast Mode Sillage video, and this one definitely has the Beast Mode Sillage. It's amazing. This is one of the most amazing fragrances ever created, and I would say it's one of the most amazing fragrances of all time. It's definitely niche. It's Frederic Malle, created by Dominique Ropion, but absolutely amazing. It's so funny because a lot of people emulate this fragrance and they create their own version of it. Which is fine, because they're not really known as clone houses, these companies that do these, because they kind of copy the success of this fragrance. So I've come across several fragrances that are similar to this fragrance, and that's because it's very, very successful and people love it and they want to emulate it. If you don't know Portrait of a Lady, do check it out. It is to die for it. So that is another one. This one is also great, and I think it was featured in my Beast Mode Sillage video. I can't remember. I think it was, though. This is Créationnée from Roja Parfums. Perfect winter scent that's boozy. Amazing stuff. This house is awesome. I love this house and everything that I know from this house. The only thing I don't like about them, they get a little sticky and I have to kind of rub it on my pants so I can clean it off. But it's all very shiny, glossy, and beautiful. But the scent here is to die for. Absolutely amazing. It's like sipping, well, actually not sipping. Well, actually, yeah, you can. It's almost like sipping, because when I sip booze and cocktails and liqueurs and things like that, I can smell it. But this smells just like a fine, fine cognac. Boozy, delicious. So Créationnée from Roja Parfums, one of the best fragrances ever, at least to me. Next up, we're going to an animalic fragrance from the house of ATELIER d'Orange. This is Rien Intense Incense. Wow, amazing. Beast mode, smoky, aldehydic, animalic, very, very unique fragrance. It's almost, to me, it's very leathery, so to me it almost smells like a manufacturing plant, oils and you know, whatever they do in these manufacturing plants, and they have that smell mixed in with clean aldehydes, laundry-like aldehydes. So you got kind of like a clash of clean and dirty at the same time. It makes for a very, very unique fragrance, at least to me. And I've got a review comparison video that I had shot of this with the original version, just Rien, with Dahlia, if you're curious to watch it. So check it out. A great scent, perfect winter scent, awesome scent. So this is Rien Intense Incense from ATELIER d'Orange. And next up, we're going to the house of Nishané. This is Munegu. This one is to die for. Now, they have two patchouli fragrances. This is a patchouli, and they also have one called Patchouli Koza. This one to me is, there are differences. This one comes off more spicy, or like there's like chocolatey touches to it, spices and chocolate, and there's also this underlying soapy quality to it. So it's a very, very unique patchouli that I love to wear. Absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite patchouli scents. Actually, I like this one a little more than Patchouli Koza as well, because it's so delicious. It smells really, really delicious. So check it out, Nishané. Munegu is a great, great scent. Next up, we're going to the house of Fortemanle, and this is Charlatan, this one right here. A very, very sexy scent with chocolatey touches, roses, jasmine, musk, animalic touches, just absolutely delicious. Might turn off some people that are not into the animalic touches, because the jasmine here, it goes into a little bit of a dirty territory, but that's just naturally jasmine, so you've got to love it if you're going to go smell jasmine on its own. they do have it captured perfectly here with the other notes. Absolutely delicious fragrance. Still my favorite fragrance from this house because I absolutely love it. This is Charlatan from Fortune Mallet. Next, we're going to the house of Tower Perfumes, and this is ACQUA de Desert, this one right here. So this one is a more intense pure perfume edition of L'air de Desert Marocain. So it's a toss-up for me. I find this one to be a little better performing overall, but it is also a little bit closer to the skin rather than the L'air de Desert Marocain, which projects a little more. So if you're, it's a toss-up. There's also a little bit of differences. The other one seems to be a little drier. This one seems to be a little more wetter, if that makes sense, amberier, a little more gooier. That's what I like about it. So this is ACQUA de Desert from the Tower Perfumes house that I absolutely love. So check it out, ACQUA de Desert, another one to definitely think about for winter. Next up, we're going to the house called ABDUL Al Qurashi, and this is Safari Extreme, this one right here. Stay tuned for a video for this. I've had a video shot of this, never aired it, but this is absolutely delicious. It's a leather, so it's a bit on the Tuscan leather side, but not necessarily going in that direction too much, just the leather touches. There's also these floral touches and a bit of sweetness thrown in to make for a very, very sexy fragrance. It's delicious. I mean, where have I been to have missed this fragrance for the longest time? It's to die for, and I love wearing it, as you can see right here. I've worn a lot of it. It smells great. Probably all of San Francisco smelled me wearing this stuff because I've worn a lot of it since last summer. But this is perfect for winter. Absolutely perfect. Check it out, Safari Extreme from ABDUL Al Qurashi. 3 more left. We're going to the house of JOVOY. This is Psychedelic, another patchouli fragrance, and one of the best patchouli fragrances because it is all about patchouli, but it's also very woody, chocolatey, and a bit boozy. Delicious, so delicious. This is to die for. Absolutely in love with it, and I love wearing it because I love patchouli, because I find patchouli to be so sexy, and this is definitely sexy. So Psychedelic, love the name, reminds me of San Francisco in the 60s, the psychedelic 60s. And it's about patchouli, so it's a very, very appropriate name in French, Psychedelic. So check it out, Psychedelic from JOVOY. One more JOVOY, I had to have this one in here. It's Incident Diplomatique, of course. We got patchouli and vetiver together, meshed together to make for a very, very sexy fragrance that garners lots of compliments. But this one, man, it's so good. I love both vetiver and patchouli, and here you have the best of both worlds into one perfume, if that makes sense. I mean, there's other notes in here that are thrown in here, but it's all about the patchouli and it's all about the vetiver together. A nice balance, but very, very sexy. Many compliments with this one. So check it out, Incident Diplomatique from JOVOY. And last but not least, we're going to a house that's been around for quite some time. This is Pardon from NASOMATTO. I had to throw in this one because it's very, very woody, patchouli, warm and slightly chocolatey scent. I mean, those kind of fragrances are perfect for winter, I think. The only problem I see with this one is it's not necessarily a major projecting fragrance. Like, it's closer to the skin. I find that to be most of the NASOMATTO house. Maybe I should take that back. This particular one, I wish it projected a little more, but I don't need that all the time with all fragrances. I find that the more concentrated the perfume is, the less projection it has, if that makes sense. Let me know if that's the same experience you guys have had. But scent-wise, this is absolutely amazing. I like this a little more than Black Afghano, even though Black Afghano is amazing as well. But this is perfect for winter. In fact, I might be traveling with this 30 ml bottle when I go to Europe in a couple of weeks. So I might take this one, or maybe Duro, we'll see. But great scent. Pardon is awesome. Very in line with winter fragrances. And there you have it. Those are the fragrances that I've chosen, guys. So what are your thoughts? Any of these your favorites? Any you hate? Let me know your thoughts. And let me know what you're wearing this winter. Which fragrances will you wear? Will you be wearing mostly designer? Will you be wearing mostly niche? Or do you go to the indie side? I only have one indie niche here, of course. It's Gallagher fragrances. Everything else is mostly just all about niche. Although I guess I could consider Fortemali a bit on the indie side as well, but everything else is pretty niche-y, of course. But if you're into the idea of wearing niche, let me know, and also if you don't like niche and you only prefer designer, let me know as well. Other than that, guys, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.